and welcome back to Gugak Breeze. I'm Lily. Today, I want to share something very special about the Korean traditional music, a feature that makes it stand out from many Western music performances. It's about how the audience actively participates and becomes a part of the performance itself. Let's start by thinking about Western concert like classical music or opera. When a concert begins, the audience usually sits quietly and listens attentively. Applause and shouts like "Bravo!" only happen at the very end. This is a long standing tradition and a way to show respect for the performers. It allows listeners to fully focus on the details of the music and the emotions expressed. So, it's not about being rigid or unfriendly. It's a different but equally beautiful way to enjoy music. Historically, this comes from Western music roots in church and aristocratic culture. Silence during a performance was seen as a sign of respect, allowing the full structure and emotions of the piece to flow without interruptions. That's why even today, the audience saves their applause and shouts until the very end. Now, Korean traditional music, especially genres like pansori or samulnori, is a little different. During a performance, the audience doesn't just sit and watch. They shout encouraging words called 추임새, such as 얼씨구, 좋다, or 잘한다, means that's great or well done. These shouts are not interruptions, they are part of the music. They give energy to the performers and help create a lively, shared experience. Even in traditional folk performances, the audience claps, moves with the rhythm, and interacts with the musicians. In many ways, the performances is incomplete without this participation. But why did Korean music develop this unique feature? The roots of 추임새 go back to Koreans' communal lifestyle. In farming communities, people often worked, sang, and played together, shouting words of encouragement to keep up the rhythm and spirit. This tradition naturally flowed into music and performances. Korean music also values improvisation and interactions. Just as musicians add variation within the rhythm, the audience adds spontaneous sounds that bring the music to life. Especially in storytelling genres like pansori, audience reflections guide the singer's energy, making the story more dramatic and immersive. And the end, 추임새 reflects a cultural idea. In Korean traditional music, the audience is not just a listener, they are also co-creator of the stage experience. From my own experience, I've noticed that even in Korea, people sometimes feel shy to shout 추임새. Abroad, I can be even more pronounced. Many audiences worry that they might disrupt the performance. In one of my recent shows, I decided to turn it into a learning moment. I taught the audience 3 or 4 Korean words they could shout along with me. Of course, it was a short lesson and awkward words, so some people told me they had forgotten the words. So at my next performance, I just said to them, it's okay if you don't remember the words, you can shout in English. Just give me your energy. If you don't, I might have to stop the performance. And suddenly, everyone was excited and actively shouted along. It was amazing to see how quickly the audience warmed once I invited them. A few weeks ago, I performed on the main stage at an Asian night market. At first, the audience shouted along perfectly, and even their pronunciation was impressive. But as usual, the reflections tend to only come at the end of each programs. So I tease a little. If you don't shout during the performance, I can't keep going. That made several people join in immediately. From a performer's perspective, Dreamset is more than just fun. While playing, I'm always wondering, am I doing well? Or does the sounds of this instrument reach the audience the way I hope? When the audience shouts, it not only makes me laugh, it gives me an incredible boost of energy. After each performance, I notice the audience seems less shy and more connected to the stage. Usually, a barrier exists between performers and the audience, but in Korean traditional music, that barrier disappears. People can actively participate, learn a few Korean words, express their excitement out loud, and feel closer to the performers. These interactions is one of the things that makes Korean music so unique. It's not just about listening, it's about sharing the experience together. It brings energy, laughter, and a sense of community. So, in summary, Western performances allow us to focus deeply on the music, while Korean traditional music invites us to join the performance and create it together. Both ways are beautiful, but the joy of hearing the audience shout along and feel connected is something truly special in Korean music. Thank you for joining me today on Gugak Breeze. I hope next time you attend Korean traditional performance, you will feel inspired to participate or maybe even shout a little. Feel the breeze, feel the rhythm. See you next time.